Hey guys, welcome to Bowhunting Soul. Thanks for joining me again. Okay, so here it is. Javaman Elkheart. This is my first custom bow. Actually, it's my second custom bow. I had an Omega original before this one, but this is like my my kind of one of the dream bows that I've been kind of saving up for a while. So here it is. I know I've gotten a lot of requests from you guys about when are you going to do a video on this, when are you going to review it, I want to see it shoot, that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm still tuning on it, So here it is. This is it. This is the video. So this is a brand new Javaman Elkheart. It is, here, I'll give you a better kind of view of this. It's got a quiver on it, obviously, so I'll give you that view. This is a 58-inch bow. It is marked 45 to 27. I'm actually pulling about like 42, 43 pounds on this thing. I guess it depends on, you know, what scale you measure it on, but it's definitely faster than my old Grizzly. And it is a beautiful bow. It is, let's see. Sorry, I'm kind of stumbling for words here because I'm still in love with how pretty this thing is. The riser is curly maple and it has quilted maple veneers. Okay. The limb cores, I'm not sure what the limb cores are, to be honest. That's a very good question. It does have a G10 insert in here, okay, for a little bit of mass, a little bit of weight, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it has this that very unique Javaman kind of, you know, multi-curve kind of you know, reflex deflex limb profile. Now it does have a horn, moose antler, okay, on the tips, and on the front overlay over here. Just gorgeous. Now I did have a well, I do have on the front, I did request a grip, a leather grip, a stitched leather grip like that, and I think it just makes the bow just really beautiful. I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. I did end up putting this Sure Grip over there, or you can do like inner tube. I did find that I did want just a little bit thicker of a grip when I got it. And the leather grip on there, I've never had a leather grip before. I had kind of like a suede one for my 59 Kodiak, but this one, I do find that when I shoot for a while, if my palm gets a little sweaty or you know, moisture or whatever, just a little, I don't have as firm a grip as I like on there. So although it does look incredibly beautiful, I didn't want to take it off. You know, but it is underneath there. The stitching is beautiful, craftsmanship is beautiful. I mean, Greg Coffey makes an incredible bow. This is super nice. So anyway, so that's what you have. That's why this the Sure Grip is over the actual grip, and it is it doesn't twist around my hand at all. It's got a nice soft feel to it. It gives a little bit beefier of a grip. It is a locator grip. The grips on the Javamans are beautiful. They've got, sorry with arrows in the way there, but they've got like a little, like a, you know, thumb locator spot here. I am shooting off the shelf, okay. And no, by the way, Greg didn't misalign these. I did. I had this off. I was playing a little bit with whether I wanted to shoot off of a little bit of a bump, you know, that kind of stuff, because I've always shot bows off of some sort of elevated rest, like a bare weather rest. Well, you can't do it with this, kind of like when I did with the Tolkien Pika, right? You can't really put an elevated rest on here because as it goes up, it also kicks it out. Okay, and that just makes tuning. You can tune it with it. I did try it for a little bit, but it just kind of dulls the sound, or it kind of dulls the feel a little bit, not in a good way. You don't want to do that. I think the best option is to do right off the shelf. It's just leather, and of course, when I put it back on with contacts, I might have kind of misaligned them a little bit. So that is not a craftsmanship kind of thing from Greg. That is all me. So anyway, I am shooting off the shelf on this now. Like I said, tuning off the shelf is going to be a little more challenging, no matter what, than it is with some sort of elevated rest. Okay, you just have more contact. You have just a smaller kind of sight window here where the arrow just kind of nestles into this thing instead of being able to have a smaller contact point. It has less give. I'm convinced that, you know, the little arm that on a bare weather rest, that it actually absorbs a little bit of inconsistency and you know, inconsistency in your release kind of thing. So but I knew that going in. I knew going in that tuning was going to be a little more challenging, and then I was definitely going to try and, you know, get the best tune I can. So what I have with this then is a gold tip traditional. This is a 500 spine. It's like 29.5 inches long, and I've just got the regular insert in there. I've got the 12 grain insert with a 200 grain tip. Okay, so this comes in all up about 490 grains, 495 grains. And at my draw, I'm actually drawing this to 42 and a half pounds at just under 27 inches, actually 26 and more than 3/4, but through a chronograph, it is shooting this at 158 feet per second. Okay, now my Grizzly, with very similar specs, is shooting a 530 grain arrow, also, well, 530 grain arrow, and that's shooting that at what was it, 144 feet per second. So this is definitely faster. I know that the arrow is lighter by about 40 some grains, but it is definitely faster. It is a quick bow. Didn't have to do much to as far as tuning goes. I did try this heterodyning. Okay, and if you want, you can look that up for what that means. But basically, the string puffs, these are paracord string puffs, and it's like a quarter of the way up from here to where it comes off the limb tip, and a third of the way down from the top one. You can go look that up, and I guess that's supposed to naturally cancel out frequencies of the string and just make it a little bit quieter. So these are pretty light. I do have a clicker on it, and here, I'll kind of show you guys what it looks like. Kind of show you guys what it looks like at full draw. Okay, so that's full draw. You can get an idea of what the limb profile looks like. I'll do that again. Okay. So that said, I am just back to shooting just regular off the shelf. I do find that I've tried a couple different arrow combinations. Like I said, I've got this one, and then just the other day I got in full length 400 spine gold tip traditionals, and those are 32.5 inch long, and that one tuned out with a total of it's got a 12 grain insert and 175 grain tip on the front, which makes it a 500 I think that was 530 grain. I can't remember. It was a little bit heavier, 510, something like that. Very, very close. It was only about 505. I'm sorry. It was only about 10-15 grains heavier than this arrow here. But for some reason, it did more of a wobble. I'm convinced that the longer the arrow is, the more especially in wind, the more lever, the back of this has to kind of do one of these, even if the front's, with decent FOC. This only has about 20% FOC, but I don't care. I'm not really chasing FOC. But this flies better. Now this one is actually hitting a little bit high for me. That's why I got the longer arrows, full length, like I said, and those were hitting like spot on, but I didn't really like the flight of that one compared to this one. So I don't know, I'm still kind of going back and forth, but I think it's a matter of just aiming, or at least getting used, not aiming, but because I'm gap stinctive, split vision kind of thing. So I think it's just a matter of taking more shots with this thing as compared to when I'm kind of used to the flight path with my Grizzly. So that's just the way it's going to be. So anyway, here we go. So I've got a Selway quiver on there, brand new Selway quiver, really beautiful. I was thinking of getting some, engraving or something like that on there, but then I thought against it. I just like the pure, just regular, just nice leather. Yeah, so there we go. That's the bow. Craftsmanship is just unreal. I'll give you another close-up of these limbs. I mean, the nocks are perfect. That horn on the front, the antler on the front, just gorgeous. The staining is spot on. I actually saw this very similar bow on Greg's Instagram, and I said, make me one just like that, and he made me one just like that. I had added a couple of my own things or whatever, but yeah, that was kind of a copy of that bow. I kind of went through different things of what I wanted, and I was looking through different pictures, and it's really difficult when you're going to shell out some money and you want it just right. And as soon as I pulled it out of the case, out of the box, it was just beautiful, just gorgeous. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that target over there. We're going to take some shots, and you can see how quiet this is. Now for me, it's kind of weird because I've had someone else shoot this bow, and for me, it's always, if I'm shooting the bow, it always it sounds a lot louder for some reason than when someone else shoots it. And just the other day, future podcast guest, by the way, Garrett from the local archery shop over here that I go to, he shot the bow, and it was just like whisper quiet. It was really amazing when you stand right beside someone shooting versus you shooting. So Other things I did, by the way, is of course I reserved it, because when I was playing around with the knock height and things like that, I was moving it up and down, up and down, up and down a lot, and it's meant to do that, but only so much, you know. And after a while, you start to separate the serving and stuff in there. And I had this is 21 thou serving, and I didn't have here. I don't know if you can focus on it, but I didn't have just all black. That's why it's blue. Okay, it comes with a black or brown serving to match the bow. So the blue isn't what, you know, Greg puts on there. It's kind of what I did, and it was the size that I had, and I had to reserve it just because, like I said, I played around with this for days and days and days, getting the knock height just perfect. Now, another thing on here is my knock height's pretty high. It's about 7/8 of an inch. And that may seem like really high, but I think that's the tune that I ended up with. So when the arrow comes off, I'm getting just, you know, very minimal contact with the shelf, with the feathers. Now, I've tried it with feathers, and I've tried it with trad vanes. I'm a huge fan of trad vanes, really, and they both fly really well, but there's just a little bit of a difference. If you don't have a perfect release, you get just a little more bounce with the trad vane than you do with the feathers. I've never had that happen before. I'm a huge fan of trad vanes, but it just seems like, just in my kind of bro science tuning for the last few days, I found that the actual feathers work just a little bit better, and I'm fine with that. I mean, they're gorgeous, you know. So I think I'm just going to stick with feathers on this one, or maybe just shoot the trad vanes and stuff for just practice and things. But then with a broadhead, I'm just going to do feathers, just like people have done for millennia. So anyway, I'm rambling on. I think that's about all I had to say about the actual setup on this thing. Brace height, 7-inch. To me, it felt better. Lower brace height is 7 to 7.5. So the range rather, and I found that closer to 7. I'm right at 7 on this one, and actually, you know, after string stretch and stuff, I've had to put a few more twists in it, but 7-inch seems to work better for me than at the higher brace height. So all right, I've said it 4 times already. We're gonna go shoot. All right, guys, so I'm gonna shoot at that target over there. It's tough to get everything in frame here, both me shooting and, yeah, we'll do that. All right, so like I said, it aims a little high. It hits a little high for me, but I'm consciously working on kind of getting the new flight path in my brain so I can, you know, split vision, hit where I want it to hit. So here we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad at all. Let's walk down here. You guys see that? See if I can tip this down a bit. There we go. Yeah, so I'm telling you, it's an incredible bow. I can actually shoot better than this. This was just like I said, I spent pretty much hours yesterday shooting it, so I am a little bit tired. That's gonna be my excuse. But it's just a great bow. It's quiet. It feels incredible in the hand. Like I said, the grip for me was a little small with the leather wrap, and it kind of tended to move around a little bit with a little bit of moisture. But you can tell if you don't have that. Now, Greg does say that when he sands these down, if you're going to have a grip, he actually sands down the wood smaller, so to accommodate for the size of the grip. If you're going to not have a leather wrap on there, then it's going to be a little bit wider. It's going to be a little bit bigger, more hand filling. So maybe if you go to order one of these things, you can talk to him about that. This actually, like I said, does two things for me. It took away any of that kind of slipperiness from the leather a little bit, and it actually added a little bit of beef, a little more hand feeling, a little more secure in my hands. So and that's just, you know, that's just the way it is. I mean, no bow is going to be, I don't think anyway, 100% going to be perfect for you. And I think this was a really good compromise. It's black. It looks just fine. And then I don't have to worry about, you know, taking off the you know, the leather wrap, for the actual real leather wrap underneath it, because I mean, it just I just like having it there. So anyway, I'm gonna take a few more shots. I'll do like a different view there. You can kind of, I'll do a view kind of shooting this way, so you can, I don't know, maybe get a better angle, and then we'll kind of wrap it up after that. Well, okay. Another not bad group there. I'm still consciously aiming a little bit low, so it was impacting a little low, but that's, you know, I mean, I was looking over here and it's hitting over here. So, like I said, with those longer arrows, the full length, it's back on. The longer arrows, my gap, I guess, subconscious gap kind of thing is a little bit better, the sight picture, but I wasn't really happy with the extra wiggle, extra movement, I guess, I got with the longer arrow. Maybe it was just windier yesterday, I don't know. It's a little breezy today too. I don't know if on that second arrow you saw a little bit of a wiggle. So but yeah, man, I mean, that's it. So if you if you're looking for a custom bow, definitely give Greg a call at Javaman Archery. I mean, the guy is first class, super nice to deal with. Very, you know, he keeps you informed. He sends you kind of teaser pics, which were, you know, kind of funny. You know, he sent me one where he's peeling off something off the limb, you know what I mean, showing what's underneath, kind of thing. It was like a slow kind of peel off, and then I said, you know, it kind of looks like a striptease. You know, it should have been almost X-rated because it was so beautiful underneath it. So yeah, so beautiful bow, excellent guy to deal with. His reputation is just outstanding, and I think he knocked it out of the park. I mean, when you're never really sure exactly how a bow is going to turn out when you order a custom bow, the colors could be off, the look could be a little off, you know, things like that. But as soon as I unpackaged this thing, I was like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it was going to look like and feel like, and it is. And it's just, it's a quick bow. For, you know, again, the only 43 pounds I'm pulling on this thing. It's a quick bow, and it's a quiet bow. It's a comfortable bow, maneuverable, but not super I mean, it's not like super feather light. If you remember the Bodnik slick stick that I reviewed, that is like feather light. I don't exactly have a weight on this thing, but it definitely adds that G10 in there. Definitely adds a little bit of weight to it, which is great. It holds steady. It's not too light. It's not too heavy, and I'm just in love with the bow. So there you go. There you have it. Javaman Elkheart. That's it. So if you guys like this video, if you have any questions, please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely like, share, and subscribe. We need to cheat the YouTube algorithms. Definitely need to do that. And the podcast, I don't know how many people watch this, actually listen to the podcast, Bowhunting Soul podcast. Super appreciate it if you guys listen to that. Have a lot of great guests on there, and nice back catalog. We've got, I think, like 60 episodes out so far, I think. So I don't know, I tend to like it. So I really appreciate it if you guys go check that stuff out. And if you go to Instagram, go into the link tree in the bio, and then I've got like shirts and things like that you know, help support everything, and you know, just like that. So I really appreciate you guys. that watch and listen and all that. So there you have it. Javaman Elkheart. Thanks, guys.